Hi everyone. In this presentation, we'll be looking at last theory of language learning, that is language learning as a strategic process. So one way of looking at language learning is through the use of learner strategies. This theory has moved the shift away from the subject-centeredness to learner-centeredness. The notion of learner strategies reflects the philosophy of learner-centeredness because it addresses how learners can actively be involved in the process of language learning. So what are strategies? They are specific actions and behaviors learners use to improve their skill in learning or using a second language. For example, one of the strategies for listening comprehension is note-taking while listening to a text. There are different kinds of strategies that learners can employ to attain maximum benefit in learning a second language. The first is cognitive strategies. These could include any cognitive process that a learner deliberately uses to learn a language. For instance, while learning vocabulary, a learner can associate mental images with words to help these words be saved in the memory. Another type is metacognitive strategies. These are strategies through which learners analyze, prepare for, plan, and reflect. For example, before reading a text, a learner can plan which parts need to be read carefully. Another type is social strategies, which helps in dealing with the challenge during an interaction. So a learner can decide to interact with native speakers through the internet to improve his or her language learning. The last type is affective strategies, which helps in dealing with the emotions involved in learning a second language. So for example, a learner can listen to music while writing a story to feel good about it. While learning a language, learners are already using different strategies. So we need to raise awareness of those strategies which they are already employing. And we also need to teach new and effective strategies by presenting them and modeling them one by one, followed by multiple practice opportunities. Moreover, it is equally important to realize that each learner is different and can be benefited by different strategies. So we should help learners evaluate what works for them. Here you can see some good language learning strategies. Of course, there could be many, but some of them are these. Willing and accurate guessers, comfortable with uncertainty. Good language learners have a strong drive to communicate and willing to get their message across. They are okay with appearing foolish as long as communication is happening. They constantly look for patterns in language, and they don't only look for patterns, but they attend to meaning rather than only attending the forms. They also practice and seek opportunities to practice. They monitor their own speech and performance. Okay, so at this point, I'd like you to pause for a thought and think about one strategy from each of the four types that are cognitive, metacognitive, social, and affective, and devise a way these strategies can be taught to learners in the classroom. So coming to the conclusion, so far we've covered 5 language learning theories. The first one was behaviorism, which explained language learning as different behaviors which come to action due to specific stimuli. The second theory addressed second language learning as it happens in the mind and explained the processes which happen in the mind when a second language is learned. The third theory explained how training in different skills can improve second language learning and stressed the importance of performance in second language learning. The fourth theory explained second language learning from social point of view and described what happens in interactions. The two important concepts which were discussed were scaffolding and zone of proximal development. Lastly, we discussed the role of strategies in learning a second language and discussed how strategies can involve learners in the process of learning a second language. Now, I hope that you have a fair understanding about second language learning and you must have your own understanding of it. I'd like you to make your thinking concrete by writing your own philosophy of learning a second language. I hope this will help. Secondly, I'd also like you to fill out the questionnaire about second language learning, which you did before, and compare your answers to see if this presentation has helped you shape your beliefs about second language learning. Thank you. Hello everyone, this is Fasirza, and in this presentation we are going to look at second language learning. This is one of the many presentations in the series of teaching English to the speakers of other language, and this particular presentation is going to help us understand the second language learning theories, and it will help us develop our philosophy and the methods which we will be able to use in our classrooms. But before going any further, I'd request you to download all the related materials to this presentation, which is on the link given in the description below. So please download that material before going any further.